Start it off.
Ba-dum-bum.
Hey, welcome back to another Quality Time podcast with Nick and Erin.
Yeah.
But mostly just with Nick.
Always.
I know. I have the best time here on Quality Time. Mm-hmm. Look at us just jump right into it. We've been very chill and tired today, and we just jump right in. It's like we're professionals now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Getting into the flow of it.
Uh-huh.
But soon it'll be weekly.
Yeah, I know. We're still kind of slacking on the week thing.
I think it's okay.
Every week and a half.
Yeah.
And then it takes me 3 days to edit it and upload it.
So every like 2 weeks then.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of different things.
Exactly.
And by we, I mean me. Mostly.
Oh, what are you doing, Nick?
Oh, you know, just a bunch of TikTok. You trying to get me to talk about TikTok?
Talk about the TikTok.
Oh, yeah. What happened since the last time?
TikTok.
Do you remember what happened on our last podcast when I talked about TikTok?
Were you banned? Was that then?
No, it was before. I was banned at one point or something. And then, no, I was off TikTok for a week because I was sick.
Oh, yeah.
But then I thought I really blew up because I had almost reached 10,000 followers.
Oh,
I was at 9,000 followers. Uh-huh. Well, now I'm at about 40,000 followers. Yeah. So I have blown up quite a bit since then.
That's so awesome.
So, hey, your boy's famous.
You're
what can
famous.
I say? Yeah. And yes, I was banned a few times in there.
Yeah. No, I was wondering, where we left off. Because a lot has happened with that. Yeah,
definitely.
You got like a shit ton of
followers.
We
were talking about all the haters that came from the tranny post that I made. I guess you don't call them trannies anymore. The transsexual post. Mm-hmm. You know, I make a lot of jokes. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of haters from that. Well, I have since pissed off a whole new community of people. And they're called Lizzo fans. Yeah. Have you heard of Lizzo? She's a really big pop star.
Yeah, I have.
And I mean really big.
Oh.
If you get what I'm throwing down. She's obese, guys. She's an obese pop star. And I made a lot of jokes about her. And let's just say I had a lot of people very mad. And I became known on the platform for being the funniest TikTok.
The CEO of Lizzo jokes.
Exactly. That's what I changed my bio to. The CEO of Lizzo jokes. I made a Lizzo joke and it blew up. And I got 13, maybe 14 million views.
That's insane.
Million with an M. 2 million likes. Over 100,000 comments on one video.
You're
I think it was like
famous.
120. I guarantee Lizzo has seen me.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. She's on the platform.
I know.
There's no way.
I guarantee it's a matter of time before someone recognizes you on the streets.
Yeah, and I hope it's Lizzo. I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm going to be walking down the street.
I don't think we'll ever run into her, but sure, maybe.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm going places, Erin. I'm going places.
To her concert or what?
I made a joke about that too. Like me showing up at her concert and everybody just looking at me. All her fans just like,
that would be hilarious.
How dare you show your face here? Yeah. Dude, honestly, I don't even know Lizzo that well. Like I only know.
Oh, you don't know her well?
Obviously I don't know her at all personally, but I'm saying like I wouldn't recognize Lizzo on the street unless I saw her with paparazzi or something around. I would just think she's a fat black woman. I wouldn't know, but I guarantee she'd recognize me because she'd probably seen me. Everybody was tagging her in that post.
Yeah.
It blew up. It blew up.
I know.
But
it was a good one.
They have since.
Go to his TikTok. Oh, just kidding. It's not on there anymore.
I would say go and watch this post. It has 14.5 million views. But just yesterday, TikTok has deleted the video.
But it is encapsulated, immortalized. Yeah.
Sure.
In those meme.
Yes. Many people downloaded the video and have put it into the best of TikTok montages that have been popping up on YouTube. I've seen it spread on Instagram. I've seen it tagged. People have tagged me when they randomly found my face popping up in some video they were watching. They're like, wait, that looks like Nick. What the fuck? What? Yeah, that's me, guys. I'm the famous guy who makes fun of Lizzo. Apparently, I'm just getting famous for body shaming. But it's not really body shaming when you make fun of Lizzo's weight because she wears it as a badge of honor. She's very proud of it, and it's a big reason why she's famous. Yeah. So I think it makes it fair game.
Really big reason.
See, even Erin's now fat shaming. Erin, you're supposed to be the better one of us.
I'm not fat shaming.
I'm the asshole around here. Yeah, they've deleted the video as of yesterday. I was very sad about that. I think I might be shadow banned again. Here's the deal. I was shadow banned for 2 weeks, and I think that happened after our last podcast. And literally, I had been blowing up from the previous joke.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the biggest thing I had done, which it was. It got like 1 million views or something like that. And then I was shadow banned for 2 weeks. I didn't get any new followers, any new views. Like I was cruising up to 10,000 and they banned me at 9,000 followers. And I literally could not reach anybody new for 2 solid weeks. It was literally 2 weeks to the day.
Getting to 10,000 was like such like a hassle.
And all I wanted to do was hit 10,000 and I would have felt good. And then I hit 9,000 and I just got frozen for 2 weeks. And I was like, this sucks. And I really I was posting a lot and nothing would happen. No views. And I just was like, man, and I could tell I was shadow banned because I looked at my analytics and they just were not putting it on the hashtags
for you.
Nothing on the For You page. You couldn't find me from anything. And I was getting very, very sad. And then literally right as 2 weeks, I did a lot of research and I found somebody who said, I think it lasts for 2 weeks. So I just was like, okay, before I give up, I'm going to wait till 2 weeks. And it was literally right at 2 weeks. All of a sudden I was back on the For You page. And the very next day, I posted that video and it blew up to 14 million views and I gained 30,000 followers in a day.
So fucking insane.
So let's just say I'm doing pretty well on TikTok. But now I think I might be shadow banned again. It's going to happen. I just have to accept
ups and downs.
It's going to happen. Yeah. I'm just very glad, knock on wood, that they didn't take away my likes because I have 2.5 million likes on my profile and 2 million of those are that one video alone. But it makes me look like I have legit clout.
Yeah.
When people come to my profile, they're like, this guy's doing something. And it's still on there. So I hope it's good.
That's good.
And even if they remove the video and remove the likes, whatever, I still get the followers.
Yeah.
That's 40,000 followers. I'm about to. Well, now I feel like it's the same thing. I'm like, I'm almost at 40,000. And now I think I'm shadow banned again because I switched up subjects. I did change my profile to the CEO of sarcasm, satire, and Lizzo jokes because I just was making a bunch of Lizzo jokes off that wave. But I have since changed it because now I'm making fun of religion and people are getting really mad about that. So I got a lot of followers for making fun of the trans people. I got a lot of followers for doing pro-America and pro-Donald Trump content because I do troll the liberals a lot. And then I made fun of Lizzo. So I got this huge boost of people who love Trump and hate the liberals, you know? And then I start making fun of religion. So as you can imagine, a lot of those people who thought I was funny when I made fun of everything else, all of a sudden, they don't want to like me anymore because now I made fun of their thing, their ancient book with the magic man who talks from the sky. And now they're like, you're an asshole. How dare you? And so I changed my profile just now to the CEO of Sarcasm, Satire, and offending everybody. I think that's what I put in there. I actually just changed it, but I have a feeling I'm going to be paused for a little while. But 39,000 people is pretty good for 3 months.
For sure.
What am I going to do in 6 months? It's starting to grow.
That's awesome.
So it's been I was very excited about the last time we talked about it. Like, I'm doing this.
10,000.
And then I was very sad for a while. And now I'm thrilled again. And I think now that I've accepted my new fame, now I'm sad again because I'm going to be there for a little while, but I'll take it on the wrist and whatever. I'll just keep going
till next week when I'm banned again.
And I will piss off another community of people. So yeah, but it is funny. I really think because Lizzo's on the platform. And I know millions of people were watching it and thousands of people were tagging her in it. And they're like, how dare you? What if Lizzo sees this? It's like, I didn't tag Lizzo in this. I'm making a joke to my followers. I didn't know it was going to blow up like that. You guys are the assholes who are all sending it to her. You're like the best friend who hears somebody fucking talking shit about you in the locker room and you didn't even ask and they just come, hey, did you know these girls are saying all this shitty things about you? They said you're fat. They said blah, blah, blah. And it's like, are you saying this to me or what?
So, speaking of that too, it's like if someone just like goes and comments about something that you weren't even talking about, I don't fucking know. So basically I got a comment on my, my yoga page on my last picture.
They're coming for you.
And it was a girl and she was just like, what did she say?
Did she say you were fat like Lizzo?
No. She was like, so happy for the girls or like showing the cellulite booties. It's like not photoshopped or whatever. Queen. And I'm like, that's great and all. Yes. You know, I do have like cellulite and stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
And it's just...
It's like, you don't
why
really,
do you have
though.
to like call that out though? Like,
I
can't
know.
you just say like, oh yes, girl, not photoshopped, or like, it's like,
I see what you're saying.
why do you have to call out the thing? You don't have to say, you know.
It's like people are thinking these things are so great, and it's actually kind of a insult.
Yeah.
I mean, it is great if you do that. That's fine. But why does everybody celebrate like you're a queen just because, like, they never say, oh, you're a really hot girl who posted in your bikini. Wow, you're so brave.
Yeah.
But when it's a fat, obese person who is clearly not hot and she posts in her bikini, oh my God, you're a queen. You're so brave. You're amazing. It's like, this is not a compliment. You are pandering to me because you know I'm disgusting. Unlike you, which I don't know where I guarantee they're just saying that because they probably came from the page, or
maybe, but I
don't know. Show me the picture. Maybe your ass is gross and I've never noticed.
It's not gross. I have like a little bit of cellulite.
I'm well aware.
Cellulite is completely normal.
I know.
And everybody has it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes, unlike most women, Erin does not FaceTune her body before she posts. Okay, she actually looks like she looks in her pictures. In fact, she looks better in real life.
I love when people are confident with cellulite booties. Queen.
Dude,
I was like, if you got it, flaunt it.
So many people left that comment. Queen. She's a queen. Don't come after her. She's a queen. And I'm actually thinking, like, it's funny because...
See, there's like a little bit.
Let me see. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God. Your ass is on point.
I know. Thank you.
Jesus. Guys, I wish you could see this. Go check out her Instagram. I would have never even noticed that. That's just like the butt crease.
Like she's just like zooming in to like,
oh my God. Yeah, because they're probably looking to see if you FaceTuned yourself or something. Yeah. They're looking for any imperfection. I don't know. But I guess it's so rare these days.
I will never FaceTune. I will never like Photoshop, nothing.
I have never FaceTuned myself either.
No.
I barely. Like,
I don't even put on makeup.
Well, yeah. You actually just look like you look, which is great. You're an actual pretty girl, which some of these other people cannot say.
I'd like to learn how to do makeup, but I'm pretty sure it would make me just break out.
Yeah.
So.
It's better just to be pretty. Mm-hmm. You're fine.
Got it from my mama.
Yeah. I don't even red eye correct my pictures.
I know.
It's like, I won't do anything either. I'll throw a filter on, like an Instagram filter, just to give the picture an aesthetic or fix the lighting or something.
Mm-hmm. I do that too. Yeah.
But what I do is just never post pictures that I don't like. You know, that's the best editing I do. Take some pictures. Those suck. Post the one that looks good. There you go. I mean, that's how you do it. But yeah, these people are going way overboard. Even on TikTok, they have a beauty filter built into their camera. Yeah. That probably everybody uses just to smooth out the edges. Mm-hmm. I don't even turn that shit on either. I'm like, you get me, you're getting me. That's it. I'm not ashamed.
I see so many people, not so many, but quite a few on my Instagram who use the FaceTune. And I'm just like, you can tell. Yeah. You don't have any pores. Your skin is so smooth.
Dude, they're doing like the knees and elbows now.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have a crease anywhere.
Armpits.
Oh my God.
No armpits. Finger creases.
Dude,
like
it's
show
getting
your
out of
nails
hand. It's getting out of hand.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'm on this Reddit thread too for like skincare, and so many people like take pictures of their skin. They're like, how do I get rid of this texture? It's because they only see on Instagram this smooth skin.
They think that's normal.
And so many people think that's normal. And I'm like, it's not.
And it's not just that, because they're smoothing it out and they're wearing tons of makeup. And when you wear tons of makeup every single, dude, you're clogging your face with paint every single day of your life. And so when you take that off,
it probably looks even worse. Your face is probably so much more broken out and upset and inflamed.
There's a girl that is very famous on TikTok. She's one of the top creators. I won't throw her name out there because she's really pretty and she looks good, but it's all makeup. Yeah. And then she takes her makeup off in some of her videos to show like she doesn't care or whatever, but like she looks way worse. I mean, it's just she looks so young when she's wearing the makeup. And then she takes it, but she is young. And I'm like,
well, that's weird. I feel like makeup makes you look older.
No, well, I guess I see what you're saying in some ways. Like, she doesn't look unnatural. It's just, I think once you just get so used to seeing somebody always done up, and she wears her makeup really well, that it's not. It's one of those. Crazy. It's one of those makeup jobs where guys would be like, "Oh, I like that she doesn't wear a lot of makeup."
Yeah,
but then you see the videos that she does, and it's pure contour, and it's fucking everything, doing the eyebrows, doing the lips, the liner. I don't even know all the makeup shit, but. Then I saw her without, and I'm just like, yeah, you look the same, but just way, way worse. And I'm just thinking like about you because you just look pretty, but you don't look like you need makeup. And I'm just wondering, is that how is it just because I'm programmed seeing her all the time with makeup, and then when you see it without, it's shocking?
Yeah.
Because then I'm actually really happy that you don't wear makeup.
I know. I think it's that. It's because, and I think that's what too, I won't wear makeup either, is because first of all, I don't know how to do it. Yeah. Also, I think it's terrible for your skin. And I already get hot-faced that it would just like fucking melt off of me.
Well, that's what I'm thinking it is that since she's wearing it every single day and she puts so much on, it must just ruin your skin that by the time you take it off, it's like, your skin is not near as good. Like your skin is much better. But then again, I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to because you don't ever wear heavy makeup.
Exactly. And two, my skin has gotten quite a bit better because of my new skincare regimen.
Yeah. Is that called FaceTuned?
Totally.
Yeah, the makeup thing's getting out of control. The FaceTuned thing's getting out of control.
FaceTuned. That's the thing that's out of control. I can't. Makeup has always been around. Contouring, I guess, is kind of a new thing.
Yeah, makeup has always been around, but is it not weird? Is it not weird that people legitimately paint their faces every day? Like you're painting on a face that's not yours. I think the
whole thing, the whole skin done, yes. I think doing your eyes.
Yeah, a little bit. Or if you're going out for a specific event, I understand. Yes, I'm not like, trust me, girls who look really hot with makeup, it does the trick. I look at them and I'm like, oh, you're hot. And then they take it off and I'm like, oh, you're not hot.
No, yeah.
So obviously that's why women wear it. But
I definitely think going out, getting yourself all done is great, but if you can't leave the house like without it, that sucks.
I'm thinking more on like step outside of our cultural norms and imagine like how we look at some African culture that has those giant like things in their lip or something.
Or the rings on the neck and
some
stuff.
Weird cultural difference of what they think is beautiful and we look at of like, that's weird. If you step outside of American culture and look at what women do, it's like, ladies, you're fucking weird. That's crazy. That's our sign of beauty is painting on your face.
Especially when makeup changes all the time. And now the other thing is like outlining your lips that are darker color.
That's what I saw her doing.
And then just having like pink lips and you have like brown around the edges of it. It's like, what?
Oh my God, yeah. And it's like over the thing. And they're injecting it with lip fillers.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I showed you that one girl that popped up and it's like she has, because I creeped her Instagram, she looks hot. I mean, she definitely has that fucking porn starish hot slutty
blow
look.
Up doll look,
It works. I look and I'm like, damn, that's hot. And then I had to creep her Instagram to see like, what did it look like before? And I scrolled down and it's like, what the fuck? Like you were already a hot girl. You weren't bad in any way. And she's just injected her lips. And I'm thinking
the girls that already had lips before and then they just inject more into it. It's like, you already had pretty lips. What the fuck?
I'm thinking like, okay, I mean, this does look good if you're like 30 or 40, I guess. But then I see on her profile, she's 20. She's not even 21 and she's already completely fake. Like
you're going to have to do it the rest of your life.
What is that going to look like in 10 years?
Yeah.
Especially when the fashion changes. And that's not the look anymore to look like a fucking Kim Kardashian blow-up doll.
Yeah.
What are you doing to yourself?
Have they not seen the pictures of people back in like the 80s or 90s that were that young and then they were doing all the plastic surgery and now you look at them and they're just like, ah!
It's so crazy.
Like really scary.
Like people just went full on with this Instagram look that the Kardashians have pushed.
Yes.
The fake
but
ass.
They look so good though. They don't, I mean like their lips look fine.
The Kardashians?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not really.
I think
if you
like
see
Kim's
them
lips,
when it's
Kylie, they don't. I guess
Kylie looks like a wreck.
She has like duck lips or whatever.
That's terrible.
Like, seriously,
because she had no lips to begin
with.
Which is like, don't fuck with them then. Yeah, you should take that advice. Everybody calls you no lips. And it's like, what's funny is probably in 10 years, somebody else is going to get famous who has thin lips. And then that's going to be the look. And what are all these women going to do? And they're all going to try to look like you. And it's like, I'm all natural. And they're over there getting like lip pulled out. Like, how do I thin my lips? This is what happens. Fashion changes, trends change, and people just dive onto something and it's fucking permanent. I mean, it's not totally permanent, but.
So, talking about like my lips though, since we came onto that.
Yeah.
When I was born, I had a bump on my lip. This middle part here, I had a bump.
Was that a cleft lip or it was like something else?
No. Cleft lip is when your lips don't fuse together. I didn't have that. I had just a bump right here. And It was fine. My parents told me like, oh, an angel kissed you and that's why I have this.
Lies.
And I know. I was like, oh.
You're like, could the angel
like,
not?
Yeah, I know. But it was like getting bigger. So we went to a doctor and they showed me, or like they were talking to us about how it was, I don't really remember, but I guess it was maybe a cyst. But it was two veins feeding one another, and so it was like growing because the blood didn't have anywhere like to go.
So they had to get rid of it.
So my parents asked me if I wanted to get it done because this was like a big surgery, and I'd have to go under. And I was 5. Like I really remember this, so I was conscious then and like aware. They asked me and they showed me pictures of what it would look like if I didn't get this surgery done.
You're like, fuck no.
It was going to overtake like my face. It could have gotten like so big. Oh my God. So I was just like, get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I had surgery to get it done.
I don't know. Maybe it'd be cute. I wish I could see what it'd look like. I'm sure
you wouldn't even see my face.
I'm sure I would totally date you.
So we got it taken out.
I wouldn't see your face because I never would have met you. Hannah would have sent that picture of you when we first met.
Just been a huge bubble.
Hey,
here.
I'm coming over with my friend. I'm like, send me a picture. And she sends that. I'm like, I'll pass.
I would have had no friends, first of all.
We'll continue this. I just have to get the clip.
Okay,
so it's like bugging me.
I need to get another drink.
Okay, we'll be right back after this commercial break. And we're back. Where'd we leave off?
So basically.
Notice how I had a beer just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I have no lips.
Oh, that's why. That's what she says. So instead of me thinking you have bad genetics because you're going to give my kids thin lips, you have bad genetics because you're going to give my kid a birth defect. You're going to give my kid a giant tumor that takes over their face.
Maybe.
Great. False advertising. And over here we're judging women who FaceTune, but
I have bad news.
Yeah, I know. Those tits aren't genetic either. I agree. I know. I love how we're so judgmental, especially like me. I am judgmental about like faking so many things. But for some reason, I'm totally fine with fake tits on women. Because you can't do anything about fake tits.
It's because I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I didn't have any
I don't just mean you and I just mean women in general. Well, but the fake ass thing really freaks me out and is very not attractive.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. And the whole makeup thing I think is crazy. Mm-hmm. Plastic surgery on your face is crazy. I mean, I guess I get it if you have like a nose that's out of control or something.
Yeah.
But most people I see freaking out about like certain things. It's just like a small little imperfection that you can actually make a cute part of you. Yeah. Like that makes you different. That makes you stand out. Loves
you for sure.
I'm so sick of every girl looking like a knockoff Kardashian. Like it's who said everybody wants to have you look like that?
And people getting, I think the injections. Oh my God. For their cheeks or like shaving down their bones. It's like your facial structure is beautiful.
No.
Just leave it at that. Someone out there has a face shaped like yours. Just leave it like that. Stop looking at Instagram.
You change what you can. You know, if you can work out and make yourself thinner, if you can do whatever, tone up, or if you want to put on some makeup, I guess, to figure out your face or whatever, then fine, do that. But feature what you can't change. Change what you can, feature what you can't. So if you have like a certain quirk, make that part of your like look, you know, like Enrique Iglesias, you remember him with the mole? Mm-hmm. And that was like his trademark. Yeah. And everybody thought it was great. Like all the women used to love that guy when I was growing up. Yeah. And then even he got that shit removed later.
Oh my God.
It's gone now.
Yeah.
I don't know why he came up, but it's just like that. That's like a look of that's just your unique characteristic and it's not bad.
I have like a friend who has 2 friends actually who have like freckles like close to their eyes.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cute. I love it so much. And I know at least one of them is like, I don't like it. And I'm just like, but it's so adorable. And it's just like makes you you. Like, that's so cute. But it's very hard because they don't see that.
It's easy for me to say because I was born with perfect genetics, perfect bone structure, tall, handsome, smart, perfect in every way. I have literally nothing to fix about myself, except for maybe don't eat so much pizza.
No, that's fine.
Okay. I will do that. I agree. Yeah, I know.
It's one of the reasons I like you.
It's strange. It's a strange culture. And it's just strange that this all comes from Instagram for the most part. If it like Instagram changed a whole generation of women, not just the effect that it had on
magazines
women.
And like then people being anorexic.
I guess, but now it's just
skinny models.
I guess you're right. Yeah. But it's to a whole nother level now.
Yes.
Because
at least then it was only skinny.
Yeah. And
it wasn't facial features or like all these other things. And you had to be
professional to be that level, to have nobody was photoshopping themselves. You had to be a professional model on a magazine cover, but now you can just
but they're making little
yourself.
Girls like look at that and be like, I need to be skinny.
Who's they? Who forced?
I know lots of people who are just like,
but everybody talks about magazines like they made it happen. It's women who buy those magazines. It's women who do that.
No, it's like when you're walking through the grocery store and you're a little girl and you're walking by all these magazines and you see all these people. Our parents didn't buy us magazines, you know?
No, I know, but who do you think those magazines are selling to? So the reason those women are looking like that,
they're just in the line, in the aisle.
My point is, there's such a narrative of like the men push this. Men push the look of the Victoria's Secret model. Men don't watch Victoria's Secret shows. That's what gay dudes do, and that's what women do. Women are the judgmental ones who buy the magazine. Yeah, gay dudes.
No.
Yes. I have questions about anybody who watches that.
Do you watch that? Because there's hot girls walking in lingerie.
Okay, but no, men didn't get together and say we like girls that look like skeletons. We like girls with curves. We've always liked that. We didn't make the magazine covers.
But
it's that women bought those magazines, so they just have to keep pushing that shit because that's what women wanted to buy. If women wanted to buy all the fat girls on magazines, which they do now it's Lizzo. Yeah. She's so beautiful. And you don't think they Photoshop Lizzo? They don't show all those rolls and all that cellulite. They smooth all that out and just make her look like she's just big and curvy.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, she has fucking rolls and it's very unhealthy. Mm-hmm. I should stop shaming Lizzo. I've already got all the clout I need off her. It's time to move on from the CEO of Lizzo jokes. But I'm talking on a grander scale of like, but anyways, it's so interesting how Instagram has changed the world. It's changed a generation of women and just the effect it's had on like physical landmarks and stuff like national parks and how every restaurant now needs a place to take photos. And it's like the traffic of the what is it? What's that field in California with all the flowers?
The poppies and stuff. I don't think it's poppies.
It was something else.
It was some wildflower.
Yeah. And now they're getting destroyed because everybody and the traffic to all the national parks has skyrocketed. And it's not because
that's great.
Yeah, but it's only so people can go out there and get their photo and post it.
They don't care.
I know. But it's just crazy how just a simple app like that has transformed a whole generation of humans and locations. Like it literally has a feedback loop to the real world. It's not just a digital thing anymore.
I've seen so many places outside of buildings that have the wings now.
Yeah, it's so cliche too. Like, girls, my God, stop being so cliche.
Oh, what was that place
that
has
so
the wings?
Boring.
I think it's in Nashville, I guess, where they have like the big wings.
Oh my God, it's everywhere.
And it's like an hour-long line or something like that to take a photo with
I believe it.
I think it's Nashville or somewhere. Yeah, my friend went there and she was like, the line to get into it was so fucking long.
Dude, I lived in Vegas, and they changed the Vegas sign they put in this new installation, and it had like dice and all this, and it's this whole thing. And literally, so we went to check it out one time because I had been gone for a while, and then I landed, and we just like, let's stop by and check it out.
Friends.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. And we're walking up and it was like hundreds of people just waiting in a single file line to take a fucking picture. God. And what did I do? I just pulled out my phone and started making fun of everybody and say, hey guys, I'm in Las Vegas. Am I in Las Vegas? You can tell I'm in Las Vegas because I'm in front of the Las Vegas sign. I got to show the Las Vegas sign. Otherwise, I'm not actually in Las Vegas. Look at me. And everybody's staring at me like, how dare you? We've waited for this for 40 minutes and you're mocking me. And I just like left. I was like, I refuse to stand in this fucking line. You guys you're like mindless robots. So what? You can post on your Instagram and get 50 likes from people who they're literally just like, okay, like
forever.
Like most people don't give a shit about your photos. They're just liking it because you popped up in their feed and they're just trying to be polite and they move on. Nobody's looking at your photos. Nobody cares about your photos. Get over yourself, people. Oh my God. It's so sad. It's so nuts. Yeah.
One of our friends who was with us, she actually just like kind of was over to the side and just in front of everybody just snapped a picture on the side.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't actually have to like be right into it. Like, this is fine.
Mad respect for that.
Yeah.
For me, whenever I take a photo, I'm just thinking of like some joke I can make most of the time.
Yeah.
So seeing a whole bunch of people in line, that's like an easy joke. I'm going to take a selfie in front of everybody waiting to take the fucking sign picture.
For sure.
And then I have an easy joke. And that's
Yeah.
way better for my brand than getting the actual sign. Mm-hmm. Although I do have a picture in front of that sign somewhere on my page, you know.
Before it was super popular.
I went when there was no line. I lived there, so it was very easy to just like go whenever.
That was so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being so long.
Yeah, and I can't imagine the standing outside some restaurant just waiting forever.
I know.
For a photo. Oh
For
my God.
wings. It was insane. So today,
Guys, you literally could just paint wings on your house and do that, or you could just Photoshop it. These days, you know how easy it is just to Photoshop change out the
I
background.
would honestly love to get some wings on our house.
Yeah.
So that way when our friends come over, whatever, we can have some like backdrop.
No, I believe it. Yeah. If I start, like, I want to start a bar one day or something like that, a cool social spot. And these days, if you want to start a restaurant or a bar, anybody who like manages that place or is the business person will be stupid if they don't put some type of photo spots.
Yeah.
Like that is what people want these days. We go to what's the new Park and Rec, right, in Tampa, and it's just all these photo spots with the neon signs and like everybody's getting their photos in front of that, and you just have to fill your place up with those these days. And that's just what I'm talking about. Like the digital world has had a feedback effect on the real world.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a generation of this that like lags, and it's going to move on to something else. Cause now everything's going on TikTok, and TikTok is not about that shit at all. It's about like more realness. Like the people, like it's not about just photoshopping yourself and making your life look perfect.
Yeah.
It's more about being real or being funny or being like
catching a moment sometimes too, I guess. Cause I see some of them and they're like funny, but then you could tell ones that are actually like staged.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's
exactly. And I don't like those either.
lame.
But what happens when that app takes over and Instagram is a thing of the past, and all these girls who have literally changed their body forever just so they can look good in an Instagram
you were just saying they
pic.
have that beauty app now.
Yeah, but it's a very simple filter. I'm just saying it's strange that is built in. I find it fascinating, but it's not over the top. It's just like a way to smooth out the edges, I guess.
Okay.
Like if you have wrinkles or whatever. Because I put it on I'm so perfect that I turn it on and I'm like, I look exactly the same. I don't see what's happening here. So I guess I'm just perfect. But maybe I just also am not looking at my imperfections the way other people are, because I don't give a shit. I'm a human being and I don't give a fuck.
I know.
Like I look like a human. Oh, I got a weird hair somewhere. Who gives a shit?
I know.
What? I have wrinkles on my forehead? I'm 35 years old. Who gives a fuck? Get over it, people. You're going to look ridiculous in a few years.
Yeah.
You already do. But yeah, I'm just saying like, but even the people on TikTok, like the girls that are super hot, because I've seen a lot of these girls on Instagram, they have big accounts on Instagram and they might have millions of followers. And then I see them get on TikTok and they don't do near as good as like a normal looking person, because the culture on TikTok is just not about the fakeness. These girls that come over and just show off how hot they are, their like ratio is like they get a bunch of followers because obviously people are just like, oh, they're hot, I'm going to follow them. And I follow some girls just because, hey, they're hot, I want to see them. But their like ratio is so low, the content that they post. Whereas on Instagram, hot girls who post a picture get millions of likes, like easy. It's so hard to compete with a hot girl on Instagram. But on TikTok, the hot girls are like never getting real comments, real likes or anything. They just get some follows. Whereas me, just an asshole posting jokes, I'm getting tons. And even other people who just look like people who have a lot of disabilities or people who are very average looking are killing it on TikTok because the culture is just different. It's more of like combating it's like we're sick and tired of the Instagram. We want something that's like real people. And I feel like there's going to be a revolt against all these people who are just made up perfect Barbie plastic doll looks. Like I just feel like society is going to move on and you're fucked.
That's what I was like hoping for in this like new generation and stuff.
I think that's what's happening because it is the younger kids. Well, not just all kids. I mean, there's older people too, but it's just things move on. Instagram's been around for 10 years, more like a little bit, I guess 10 years now. Shit moves on. It gets saturated and then it moves on. But people have literally changed. I mean, we're repeating ourselves now. It's changed the whole culture, and the generation's going to move on. And then what?
Yeah.
So it's going to be fascinating to watch, but I like watching it. I'm so fascinated with tech and social media and society and human nature and culture, and to see the effect that these things have on
I have
everybody.
another thing that you're fascinated with.
What's that?
Okay. So today I was laying outside getting a nice tan, and I was looking up at the sky. And on this day, it was like slightly cloudy, like wispy-ish clouds. And I can feel like I am tripping. When you are tripping and you look up at the sky and you can just kind of see all the gases going, and just like, it's like such a beautiful, amazing thing. You can basically see the world for like what it is, and like
Chaos.
things around you. And like, so that is just like the psychedelic experience.
Yeah.
Is what I want to talk about right now.
When you are really tripping, it definitely is. Everything is breathing. Everything is moving.
The trees are breathing. Like when you look at the sky, it's not just like, oh, a cloud here that's like slowly kind of moving or whatever. It's like things are actually like kind of like going back and forth, or like have this like fucking like pattern, but not really, but it's like moving.
It's chaos, but beautiful, controlled chaos that can be like, people
it's so amazing.
Always look at the world as this solid thing. Like, here's all these objects, like here's a tree, here's the ground, here's the sky, here's the ocean, here's the clouds, whatever. And we just think of it as these separate things, but nothing is separate. Everything blends together, and a cloud is a chaotic, moving thing that is bubbling and boiling and going crazy. But we just see it on this longer time scale where you never get to see the chaos. But when you film it and you speed it up a little bit, you can see it just bubbling over.
When you're tripping, you can see it.
Yeah, because you kind of tune into that. And tripping, psychedelics kind of pull away our brain's model of reality, where it kind of puts everything in its place and keeps you kind of grounded. And once you kind of pull that away, you can see the world more for what it is, which is a big, chaotic, trippy reality that's underneath everything. Yeah, it is cool. I want to trip again soon.
I know, me too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It'd be good to do it here in the backyard.
I know.
We went camping the other day. And by camping, I mean
the other time.
No, I mean, well, yeah, that was trippy as fuck.
I was like,
we can talk about that, but no, we just set up the tent in the backyard. We're such kids, like we don't even have kids, but we literally just put the tent in the backyard one night and just slept outside.
Was like, it's so nice out. We should camp out here.
I was like, let's sleep out here.
Yes.
And she was all about it. So she
grabbed the tent.
She jumped. I was like, yeah, hey, it's nice. We were just laying out there talking for a second, and I was looking at the sky, and I was like, it's so nice. Let's camp. And she literally just jumps up and runs and starts putting together everything. Let me get the towels or the blankets. Let's put the tent up. Hey, do you have a movie? Can you bring your computer out here? So I start bringing that out. She just sets it up. Nice. She gets all the snacks going. We just had a little slumber party in the backyard. It was great.
Though. We found out how old we are.
Yeah.
Because we can't sleep on the ground anymore.
We didn't put an air mattress down. We just kind of slept on the ground, and it was nice at first.
No, I put a nice comforter, but it was very thin, and it wasn't anything.
I'm okay with that.
And my backyard's super bumpy.
I'm okay with that to a point, but I'm always sleeping on the floor.
This is much better, but like a bumpy floor?
No, I mean, I like hard surfaces. I can sleep pretty well, but only for a few hours, and then it's like it creeps up because I
think that's it too.
Yeah, so I went to sleep feeling great sleeping on the ground, but by morning time it was like, okay, now I kind of wish I had something under here. Which is kind of what happens, because I'll often fall asleep in here on the floor because I just like laying on the floor, and I love falling asleep that way. But then I wake up like a few hours in and I'm like, okay, I need the bed, and I just crawl into bed and pass out.
Yeah. That was so nice.
It was nice. We should do that again.
I know.
But this time we'll get some mushrooms.
Yes.
Or some acid, and we'll just trip balls.
I'm down for it.
Or it could be weird, because I don't know. It did get weird the last time.
I know.
But I had a great time.
Yeah.
That was a different camping story.
No, I know.
Which I guess we won't super get into.
We'll see though, because I think that's like a really big tell. I think we should be able to like trip and have a moment. And I kind of like the last time, it was because there was so much stimulation. There was music,
Yeah.
there was lights, there was a new environment, there was new people, there was new everything.
It was an event. Was it 4th of July?
Yeah.
What was it? So we
Memorial Day weekend.
We went to
Memorial Day weekend.
Ginny Springs, which is a natural spring river in Florida, where these deep spring wells, bubble up, and it's like cold water, 70-degree water all year round, but it feels very cold in the summertime.
And you can tube down the river and stuff. It's a big party spot.
Yeah, so we went there to meet some friends who were camping, and we were going to just spend the whole weekend there. And then right when we get there, they're like, "You guys want to do some acid?" And I was like, "Yes, please, let's do it." So first night we're tripping balls, or tripping vaginas for the ladies, whatever. And I was having a great time, but Erin was not.
I was.
I mean, you tripped okay. Yeah, but
I like melted into my hammock and just like was staring out over the water and at the sky and stuff. I just couldn't go into I couldn't sleep at all. Because
it was a nonstop party. There's music blasting. Yes. Everybody is partying on the river. It's like chaos. You hear voices everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember because I had to get up.
I just didn't feel very like safe.
No, I feel you.
It was safe, but like.
Well, I loved it. And I was walking around and walking up and down to the party. And I remember every time I would come back to check on you because I was like, I need to find Erin.
I needed my best friend who I've tripped with before. I needed her there to like comfort me.
It would have been good if you did have somebody else. Because I know I'm so back and forth when I trip. So I go in these circles where
my buddy.
Sometimes I want to chill. And then sometimes I'm just getting pulled by all the energy.
No, and I could like fucking see that in the trees too. Like when we're laying in the hammocks, I could feel like your vibe just being pulled back and forth.
My brain is just going both directions.
That also like kind of set me off. I was like, just go away then. Like,
well, I would, and I would go away and I'd feel great. And then I would just be like, where's Erin? I miss Erin. And then I would have to come back. Yeah. And it was just this back and forth of like, I can't pick a side. And I need someone just
there and don't be back and forth.
Well, I have to follow my heart too.
No,
and
I know.
Sometimes I did want to come back.
I know.
But I remember many times I'd be walking back and I would just hear voices everywhere. And it was just like, it felt like there was people right next to me, but they weren't. I was completely alone because you hear all this noise everywhere and you're tripping and it's just playing tricks on you. And it was great. It was very fun. And I understand tripping very well. So it never freaks me out. I'm just like laughing like, this is so crazy. There's like people around me. And I would lay and look at the trees and I saw like shapes of people forming and like, it was so trippy and cool. It was mostly the next morning that was miserable because we woke up and it was so hot.
We got like 30 minutes of sleep.
Oh my God.
I did not sleep at all. And then it got too hot.
Yeah.
So then we were dying.
Erin was like begging to go. And I was like, no, we came all the way out here. We paid all this money. We met all these people. They wanted us here. Like,
I know.
We should stay.
I'm totally down for that, but
and then it started getting hot. And I was like, fuck it. Let's make the move. We got to go now though, because I am hot as shit and I'm going to be very hungover.
Yeah.
So and we just packed everything up and went.
I know.
But it was a fun time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the last time we tripped. And I definitely do want to do it again.
I need to slowly move into the tripping thing with people. Because I'd only done it like one time with one other person. Or like I've done it twice, but no one was actually like tripping really with me. Yeah. It was just myself with another person.
I think it's better to trip close to home.
Yeah.
I have a much better time when I know I can venture out, but I'm very close to a home base. Because once my trip starts coming down, I don't want to be out in the middle of somewhere. I want to be close to home.
Yeah.
That's what I loved when I tripped on the beach and I lived on the beach because you could go out to the beach and it was amazing. And you feel the whole energy of the ocean, but you also can just walk home.
Well, that's so different. Yeah,
it is different. But
that's fucking awesome.
If we did the beach now, it would be a problem because we have to get in our car and drive. And it's like, fuck, we're tripping balls. We can't do this.
So I went to Hillsborough State Park and I tripped on acid, which is like a long ass trip there.
Hold that thought. I'm always cutting you off, but we have to do a new clip. So we'll be right back after this trippy commercial break.
All right.
And we're back. Are you still tripping?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
So I tripped on acid at a state park. And then I was there for like a long time with one of my friends. She had taken a hit of acid too, but I don't know if it was like as strong. But then it was kind of wearing down. I was like, okay, I think I'm okay to drive home now. So then I
No, you're not.
I was.
Erin, you're the worst judge of when you're safe to drive. Should we have that conversation right now?
I tripped for like 8 hours there or some shit. Maybe not that long, but it was long.
Also,
it was very long. I was there all day. And then I just like came back from this beautiful world where I literally lost myself and my ego.
Oh, yeah.
And I was walking my dog, Molly. Like, she was with me. She was a little puppy at the state park. And I was just this, like, spirit or soul or whatever floating through the forest is what I imagined. And then I, like, saw this dog. And I was like, oh, that's Molly. And I followed Molly's body up the leash to it connected to my arm. And I was like, oh, I am like a person still. And like, it was just this like whole crazy moment because I completely lost all sense of myself. And like this whole ego thing was gone. It was such a beautiful moment. I had such an amazing experience. I connected so much into nature. Nature was in full force. I saw a snake shoot out of the water and grab onto a frog and crunch on a frog. And it was down like
I'm beautiful. I'm one with nature. Eat that fucking frog, yes, you horrible snake. It was
so amazing. It was so amazing. And then I saw two, not crocodiles, alligators doing their kind of like turf war where they get out of the water and they do their growl and like shake down. I saw one doing that and I heard the other one in the distance. And it was just such a beautiful, amazing experience. I couldn't have asked for a better first trip in my entire life. And then I left there and I drove us home. And then we went from this beautiful nature green park to a concrete world to literally on the interstate. There was like a 7-foot wall of concrete all the way like home. And then I got into the town and one of the restaurants had people just line out the door.
Probably to get a photo in front of their picture wall.
And then I saw this extremely fat lady in her rascal riding down the road. And I was like, what are we doing to ourselves? Like,
yeah, humans
we need to revert back. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? And then I went inside my house and I was like, I can't be in here anymore. I just like went out to my back patio because I was still like, it was kind of coming in and out. And I just like laid on my back patio and looked up at the stars. But I still had like wires going through everywhere.
Well, go out into the yard. The yard is great for tripping.
Oh my gosh, it was fucking insane.
But it
like
does really show the difference between beautiful nature and the horrible world that we live in. And so many
people don't go out into nature. Yeah. They just live their lives.
And the ones who do
in lines and on their rascals.
The ones who do still have no concept of what you feel when you trip and what your connection to your spirit, to the universe, to nature. People will live their whole life and never experience that because you're afraid. You're afraid to let go of reality. You're afraid to...
It's an amazing experience.
Trip because you don't know what that is. And it's one of the most spiritually awakening experiences you could ever have. Yeah. More strong than any religious experience that people ever try to explain.
What is your religious experience?
Exactly. They're like, oh, I saw something when I was unconscious or I had a dream. And it's like, wow, take 4 grams of mushrooms, 5 grams of mushrooms, and you'll have a religious experience and you can count on it. You can make it happen.
That's so
Take
dope.
some hits of acid and go
not
look at this.
One.
Yeah. Well, for me, I took several.
I know.
Because that night, and I've not experienced acid too much because I never really tripped on it, but they had a bunch. And I'm so good at tripping because of mushrooms and because of other things. And I just understand my brain and consciousness and the universe, I feel like. So I think I'm just
you
really...
have the mindset for it.
Oh, I'm so good at tripping.
Yeah.
And so I took a bunch and I finally felt the acid trip and I was having such a great time. I went back up to him and I was like, do you have any more? I want to do more. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And he gave me more and I just fucking went even further and it was great. And I was fine. I had no problems. I can walk around. I know what I'm doing. Like I know when I'm tripping, if something crazy is, I know how to navigate that space. But it is so amazing. And just hearing people who just think they know everything about the universe and the afterlife and the meaning of life and God and whatever you want to talk about in a religious sense or a spiritual sense, and they've never even tripped.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know anything about your own ego, about your own consciousness.
If you do believe in God and you trip, maybe that'll bring you closer to
God
too.
You could totally manifest your beliefs into this experience and become even closer to him. But I think most people would actually be like, oh my God, this is even deeper than I ever thought. Because none of this is explained in religious books. None of this is what you get from the Bible or from church. And people
It'd be interesting to see a really religious person.
Oh yeah, dude, I would love to just get a bunch of mushrooms or ayahuasca and just give it to some religious person and watch them be like, oh my God, I have actually spoken to God now, you know? And I would just be like, oh, have you? What do you know? Wow. I thought you got this. I thought you got all this information from that ancient book you read. And now all of a sudden you feel like you've actually connected to God.
Yeah.
And it wasn't God all along. Or maybe God is the mushroom or the acid or the chemicals in our brain
in their mind.
Whatever. You can definitely interpret it that way. My point is, unless somebody has actually had one of those deep experiences, don't talk to me about your spirituality. You just don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I just don't value anybody's opinion who have not gone there themselves, because anybody can. Yes. And I could give you that experience. Yeah. I won't, because you're too scared and allegedly it's illegal. Yeah. But my God, I feel sorry for people who live their whole lives and have no clue.
Like bad mindsets. I feel like if you already go in there and you're like kind of scared about taking
Well, isn't that part of the problem too? If they're so at peace because of their religious beliefs, why is your mindset so negative that you're going to have a negative trip when you talk to the real spirit of the universe? And then all of a sudden you go into this horrible, dark place. It's almost like you're not as happy as you think. And maybe I have things figured out by not believing in that, because I do believe in very deep things in the universe, but they're not in that book. Yeah. None of them are in that book. Yeah. I got them from myself and from these experiences and from other perspectives I have in life.
I want to like microdose. I want to start microdosing.
You could do that.
I don't know where to start doing that because I don't know where to get it from.
Online, allegedly.
Yeah. If I could start doing that, I would love to microdose.
Yeah. I definitely want to go do a real ayahuasca experience somewhere in the jungle.
One of our friends that you know, who we had met a long time ago, who we would get
Let's not throw names
acid
out.
from. No, but do you know who I'm talking about? The dude that was kind of one of our girlfriend's friends that we met him through, and he would give us drugs. And he met your roommate and told him that she loved him or whatever.
Oh, that guy. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I needed a little more. Got it. Okay. Got it. I don't trust his connections.
No. So he did ayahuasca down here in Florida. Our friend was telling me this.
In a clinical setting or by himself?
No, in a supposedly, I guess, like a shaman's down here in Florida. And our friend was telling me this, and I was just like, I don't trust it. I would not do ayahuasca in Florida.
I would,
sketchy.
But I would do it.
No.
I would do it by myself.
I would do it more
I trust myself more than him as a guide or his people.
No, yeah. It was like, it's supposed to be like at a place that you get it from, or it was like a retreat that you go to here. And I was like, I don't think that people here actually know what the fuck they're doing. Well, I think it's just a white dude in his fucking backyard.
I wouldn't want them as a guide, but if they just had a connection to the drug or the substance, I would definitely, I trust myself.
But is it the drug though?
I know, that's true. Well, I would have to do research and make a judgment call. But I'm saying, as much as it sounds great to go down to the Amazon rainforest and do it in a hut.
I know.
There's a lot of risks in doing that too. Okay, it's not good to just throw yourself tripping balls into the middle of the Amazon rainforest as some white person from America.
As I was at my teacher training, one of the ladies that was there for the retreat, she was there doing a detox, a 2-week detox, and then she was leaving from this detox to go down to Colombia, and she was going to hitchhike all the way down to some other country near there and do ayahuasca. And that was like her end goal.
Sounds like a great plan.
She was like 60 years old or 56 years old. All of her kids had moved out, and she was the fucking coolest fucking person.
That is pretty ballsy.
Such a beautiful thing.
She was going to hitchhike through
She's Spanish.
Okay.
So at least she looks like, she belongs. Like if a white person was kind of doing that. Yeah.
You can pick up on things. Yeah. I'm going to be down there tripping balls like, what are these people saying?
No, she's
I know a
lesser
little
to get
Spanish,
killed
but,
down there in Colombia. Or
I'm not just worried about that. I'm talking about like diseases and things and other natural.
You get the shots before you go there. What do you mean?
You see what I mean? The second you have to get shots to do this drug, I'm like, I could just do this in my backyard.
I meant like
immunizations. I get it. My point is that takes a lot. That's a whole bunch of steps.
Drug. I mean, if you take ayahuasca, still you need to like detox yourself. You're not like going like in and out of both ways.
Ayahuasca is basically just mushrooms, which is the same as LSD. It's just a synthetic form, or DMT. I know mushroom trips. Ayahuasca is just going to be that to a higher level. It's just a different type of...
I want a guided one. I really want a guided experience because like that's why I need to go back through it again because like I want to like...
You haven't even had a full mushroom experience. You only have done the LSD. Yeah. I want to just give you the mushroom experience and that will blow your fucking... Because I don't think you'll...
Are you going to not do it? Or
I
you're
could.
Gonna do it too?
No, I could not do it to guide you and make sure you're safe at least. I won't guide you, but make sure you're safe.
Because I need to be able to like talk to someone. I need to be able to like get this shit out of... that's why I think like the therapy aspect of it will be a beautiful thing for people because I want to talk about my things. I want to dive deeper into my thoughts and I can do that on my own, but I also need a soundboard. I need other feedback on this.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down.
I don't know if I should like do it with you.
No, I wouldn't want to be your spiritual guide. I'm just saying I'd be your like sitter basically to make sure you're safe.
That's why I just need someone else.
Well, fine. Whatever. My point is that's fine. I get that.
Yeah.
But I could just take a heavy dose of mushrooms and have a great time.
I'll have Emily come over.
And I trust my mind and I know how to navigate my mind and I know how to navigate the world and I love it.
Oh,
it's awesome. I definitely like people around and good energy around for sure. Mm-hmm. But no, I would love to do the ayahuasca for sure. It's just, am I really going to go down to the Amazon rainforest and do it that way? I don't know. I think
that's such a beautiful experience.
Anytime soon. I mean, definitely if I get super successful and I can travel and I got a bunch of money, I probably would do that as I get older, but
that's so nice.
But I'm not going to like go out of my way for the experience right now. You know, it's got to be at the right time and place because that's just so many hoops to jump through for.
I really want to go somewhere and like meet a bunch of like-minded people and just experience like a moment.
I don't have like-minded people. I'm one of a kind. So I don't know where to go to do that.
I'm pretty sure that you can find someone like-minded on a path.
No, I'm really good at like being spiritual in a psychedelic type environment when I'm in that mood. But I'm also, I'm both so open-minded and spiritual on that aspect. But then I'm also like a cold-hearted asshole in another aspect. And it's like, you always meet the hippie type people that are just all about love and connection with the universe. And I'm that, like, I like that thought process. But I'm also the person who like makes fun of astrology and makes fun of spirituality when it doesn't fit into my paradigm. I'm so skeptical about so many things because there's truth to some of it, but there's a lot of bullshit to a lot of it. And I don't want to make friends with these people and have to be all loving and accepting to everything when I also am like, well, that part's bullshit and that sucks. And then it just makes them feel like, well, you're being bad vibes right now. And I'm like, well, not really, because I'm awesome vibes. And I'm open to so much of this, but also you guys are wrong about a lot of things. And it just puts me in a different place where people only see me as like, oh, he's such good vibes and so like positive when I'm like that. But then if I go anywhere outside of it, it's like, oh, fuck you. This guy sucks. Why'd you bring him? And I don't, so I'm kind of worried about, relying on that type of a group. I need somebody who really understands that I'm kind of both those things.
No, I know.
I'm the skeptical, sarcastic dude. But I'm also the very open-minded, loving, caring dude. And it's very hard for people who don't know me very well to get both sides of that because they only get one or the other.
Oh, God.
What?
I don't know.
Did you just start crying? Did I make her cry? Because
that moment just like hit me.
What?
You just hit me.
Why?
Because.
What does that mean?
Good things.
Yeah?
Like, it was
I can
just
tell
like,
you're tearing up right now.
It was just like.
You get me.
Yeah.
Because you know both sides of me.
I feel like I know.
Thanks.
Like I'm your people.
You are my people, for sure. I need more people too, though, guys. Put your application down in the comments below.
No, I know. It's just like, I think that's such like a nice thing, because I think that is such a hard thing, because you can be so like this one way. I feel like the hippies could totally like be with you, but then once you say something about their astrology or like whatever, they're like, well, fuck you.
Exactly.
Or about like crystals, they're like, well, what the fuck? Like, we thought you were on our side. And then you just like get outcasted by them, and like, that's fucked up.
And that's the story of my life.
But
I don't fit in anywhere.
People who are just like, oh, well, I get it too.
Yeah, but it comes from, I have to show them the asshole side first, and then people think they get my asshole side first, and then I can show them the deeper layers of my openness, and then they're accepting because they saw the asshole first, and then they can see the loving side. But when I just show the loving side first, then I'm stuck, because then as soon as I show the asshole side, it's like they don't know what to do with that. And there's so the only people who have ever gotten me in my life are the people who at first saw the asshole, sarcastic, standoffish, skeptical side, and then they see the deeper layers. But most people are so simple.
Do you know though, the first time that I met you, I did not meet the asshole at first.
I know, we were rolling. That's why I did Molly. We would have never been dating if it wasn't for that drug.
Probably.
Because I would have been standoffish. Yeah. I would have been a sarcastic, which works for a lot of girls that I meet. Like it becomes like a fun sexual vibe, because I'm that kind of I do the sarcastic banter. But I would have thought I would have thought that you would like that. And actually, knowing you now, you would have hated me if you saw that.
Yeah, because too, I didn't want a boyfriend at all. I didn't want anything from anybody. So if you would have
except for that D.
No.
Allegedly. No, I know.
It was like, if you would have put 1 ounce of like,
oh, I get it,
your like play, I guess, into it, I would have just like used that role and like left like.
No, I know. It was really.
It was so crazy how
the whole thing, how we met, was so random, and the fact that we were doing Molly that night before you came over, and then we did it together. We would have never been together if it wasn't for that experience, because there's no way I would be emotionally open enough to even let my guard down and be real with you. But we had such a good vibe, and I was in such a open mind or vibe that it got us to this point, and then we just kept hanging out, and look at us now. But yeah, you see, it's like, I don't know. It's hard to get people to know how I operate without spending a lot of time seeing different angles. And it's just, I don't fit into any of this,
Yeah.
And it's a problem. It's not a problem. I think it's a great thing.
I know,
it's just, I've learned about that. I know how to manage myself, but it's like, even throwing back to TikTok, it's like, I'll make one side of people really like me because I make fun of this thing, but then I make fun of the other thing. It's like, oh shit, I thought you were different. I thought you fit into our nice little box that we put you in. It's like, I don't fit into any of your boxes. I am much deeper and much more complex than any of you people think. And I honestly think that most people are, because I think most people are pretty, I know they all have deep inner experiences, but when you actually start peeling the layers off people, you're never really surprised most of the time. They always kind of are what you already thought of them. It's just, there's more things there or not, but you start peeling my layers down, and it's just, it doesn't fit into any of these perceived like expectations of what somebody like me should be, because they see one side of me at a bar or at a party, and you get that side of me, but then you start talking to me about life and the universe and all of this, and you get this whole other side. So then you open up of like, oh, well, what about all this spiritual stuff? And then I start ripping into that, and they're like, wait, I thought you were open to this. And it's like, nobody knows where I stand. And it's like, I'm everywhere and I'm nowhere all at once.
But also in like the relationship aspect of that. Like,
yeah, nobody knows that either except for you.
No, yeah. And so do you think that because you do have so many sides of you, and you have so many different thoughts and viewpoints, do you think that someone can actually like get to know you and really know who you are?
Are you asking for you? You're like asking for a friend.
I'm just asking for a
This is a really deep conversation to get into when we're coming up on the end of the third segment.
I know. So I think we're going to chop this, and we're going to put on different clothes, and we're going to start our next segment.
No, I don't think so. This is a good conversation.
We're just going to talk about it after we get off.
But I don't think we can go into it too much. And by the way, totally to end that train of thought, Remember last week, Erin, when you ended us on a cliffhanger and you said we were going to talk about a topic, and I told you, come next week, we're going to talk about something completely different, and everybody's going to say, what about that thing you were talking about?
Allegedly.
And we never did talk about it. And what's funny is before it was just a conversation of what we thought we were going to get into.
Yeah.
And then we got into it twice. So we have a whole bunch of
Let's just talk about it now.
We don't have time.
Whoever makes it here this long.
We don't have time.
Should be allowed to listen to this.
What?
Because hopefully my family stopped listening by now.
No, they're definitely listening. I'm too entertaining and you're too pretty. They're listening.
No, I think they stopped listening.
Sorry, Erin. We have not broken a rule yet, and we're not going to start now. We've agreed that we're only going to do an hour, and we're going to leave people on cliffhangers.
Valentine's Day.
So, on that note, guys, I guess you're not going to know the layers to my being, and you're also not going to know about that swing set we swung on Valentine's Day, because we really like swinging.
Saturday,
allegedly.
Yeah. We do it every weekend now.
Yeah. It's just
a weekend thing.
Feel the breeze, rocking back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're starting to get the hints, but we're going to talk about both these things next week. And by next week, I mean, we're going to talk about something completely different because we went on a whole tangent about psychedelics, which I didn't even know we were going to talk about.
I know.
And I could
That's
talk.
when I was outside. I was going to talk to you. And then you were like, save it for the podcast.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah. And I would love to go, I don't think we even scratched the surface of some of the things I've learned about myself and about the universe and what I think life is. I want to go into
more stories about psychedelics and
psychedelics are quite the rabbit hole.
For sure.
Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole. Let's see how far the rabbit hole goes.
Hopefully we'll have another trip.
That is all a metaphor for psychedelic trips, Alice in Wonderland.
I know.
So guys, do some research on psychedelics. Check it out for yourself. We'll talk more about that and the swing set next week.
And let us know your experiences down below.
Yeah. And subscribe to our podcast. Like it. Leave your comments. Hit me up on Instagram at Nick Makes Jokes and on TikTok, Nick Foster Jokes. Make sure to follow me because I'm blowing up. Hopefully I'm at 40,000 by next week if I'm not shadow banned. And follow Erin on Instagram, whatever her username is.
That's rude.
Well, I don't know. Erinacious 21? Yeah,
_21.
Okay.
And then Namaste Erin. The E's are together. 2018. Just kidding.
Nah, I'm going to stay Nick. All right, guys. On that note, we're going to have to cut this clip. And this was a fun podcast. So we'll see you next week.
All right.
Ba-dum-boom. Bye.